G'day everybody, welcome back to another RossReviews and happy Australia Day! Happy Australia Day, you legends! And yes, we just had Aussie Day, the 26th of Jan. Hope you guys had a hell of a time, got out in the great Aussie sunshine, in that heat, and enjoyed yourselves, because that's what it's all about, isn't it? So today we're doing a bit of a special, and we're gonna run through the top 10 Aussie builds. Now let's kick it off. Number 10, and in order, look, I just tried to think of an order. Do these really have a pecking order? We're missing a ton of awesome cars too, so we could only pick 10. And look, we're starting with a VL Turbo. Of course, lad, Hectic Habibi had to be in the list, and this one, again, when we were in Melbourne last, this Calais VL, big turbo on this girl, RB30, just madness. And again, the rubber on this thing, man, this thing might have been from the mid 80s, but holy shit, you crank that boost up, man, put your pedal to the floor, and man, it took off. This thing was terrifying on boost. And yeah, what can I say? You know, turbo flutter in these things, they're just cool. They're so Australian, and I just love it. Now, next on this list is a car that reminds me of Aussie supercars, old school ones, and this is none other than a VX SS. But this thing has been fully built, it's still NA, and it redlines at over 8,000 RPM. Manual, full cage, this thing was a proper race car, and man, taking this thing to the limit was absolutely insane. What a treat. What an episode this car made, and yeah, again, this engine bay was just glorious to look at. The owner was a legend, made all the right noises, and yeah, this was just a hot car. Wow.
You get the hang of it now.
Yeah. Now at number 8, I have put probably one of the most Australian cars, which actually probably could have rivaled the top place. It probably could have been in the top 3, this thing, but there were so many people to choose, so many cars to pick from. We put this at number 8, but it was the Supercharged AU Ute. And XRA Windsor Supercharged had a side-mounted supercharger, Vortex, I believe it was on E85. It was manual, and again, it was a Ute, man. Like, the guy had just done all the right bits to this thing. It was still to this day the best AU I've ever driven, and I've driven almost all of them, almost all the AUs I've been in, and this thing really was the best. The noise, just the sensation when driving, rowing gears in this thing, it was just so cool, tail happy, and a Windsor. You gotta love a Windsor, man. So, of course this was on the list, of course this is Aussie, and of course it's an AU Falcon. You gotta love it, man. Get on it a bit. The motor is just so strong. It's got so much life in it. And you bring it around here again, man, it's just so good. Oh, this is heaven. It is so good. Now, number 7, this was a real gem. And for those of you, I think almost all of you have watched this video. If you haven't, again, go down in the description, find it, watch it. This was the 1100 horsepower B series. Like, B series, manual. This thing was manual with like Recaro bucket seats, and it sounded like a bloody 2J. Like, it had the most insane sound, and honestly, the guys who built this thing, you know, absolute legend of an owner, and I'll tag them down below again. I believe they were called Next Generation Motorsports, and this guy just knows the secret sauce. And this B Series absolutely proved that. And I love how sleeper it was because it was in this kind of yuck mustard color, and it had dents in the side. It wasn't all that pretty, but my goodness, you lay into it, you start getting into boost, man. You roll into this thing, holy shit, it is gonna take your pants off. And yeah, you guys need to watch the full video. So of course this had to be on the list. The 1100 horsepower B Series, just manual insanity. This is insane.
Yeah.
it's crazy, man.
1,000 horsepower hit.
Now, number 6, we had to bring, of course, some steel bumpers on. And this was an old school classic. Look, I haven't done too many of these old cars, but I do appreciate them. And anytime I get the chance to get in one, I jump at it. So this was none other than the replica SLR 5000. So this was a legit Tirana SLR. And he basically completely rebuilt this thing into a replica SLR 5000. So, you know, kind of the more exclusive special edition model. But this thing was just so well done. And, you know, between the big V8 up front it had, you know, still was a manual, and just all the interior was perfectly reconditioned. The paint work was just so immaculate. And I still couldn't believe when I actually rocked up to meet him, and he literally just chucked me the keys and was like, yeah, just go for it, man. Like, I don't even want to get in with you. I was like, this guy is a legend, and what a car. Like, seriously, I can remember going up a hill, and it just takes so much hair on your chest to drive one of these cars. Like, you forget how easy it is in a modern car. You get in one of these older things, you know, these steel bumpers, man, you gotta know what you're doing a little bit more, especially when you lay into them. So it did reawaken some gears in my head, and it was a lot of fun. So I hope you guys check that video out as well. What an absolute legend of a car.
Oh, for f***'s sake. Me, Dad! This is about a... You can't drive this thing slow! Get out of the way! Bloody trucks in Melbourne, mate! Man, you don't want to daily this thing, because it's a big cam. Like, yeah, she ain't easy to drive slow, that's for sure.
Now we are halfway through this video, and my goodness, we are getting into the very, very good stuff. And number 5 is one that's pretty close to my heart because it was filmed a couple of years ago. The owner is just such a legend. I crack a beer with this bloke any day of the week. And let me tell you, yeah, he knows how to show you around his area. Like, just a cool guy with such a cool car. And this was none other than the Supercharged BF. And again, another tough B series, but in the yellow, just manual, giving me so much memories of my old yellow XR8 Ute. But this one, big supercharger on it. The exhaust system, just so savage. And full custom interior. Like, he takes it out maybe twice a year. But when he takes it out, he takes it out. And you gotta love a bloke that can do that. You know what I mean? You know, he loves to drive his car hard. When he takes it out, I can appreciate that. And it was just such a perfect example. If you wanted a tough B series, this was the one to do. Absolutely.
Oh, it's nice. And just rolling onto it here from second. Wow. Yeah. This is an animal, and you know, it really takes some big cojones to hold that pedal down.
Now, number 4, this car, you've seen this video. You had to have if you're a true fan, because 1,000 wheel horsepower VK Blue Meanie. And yo, big blower hanging out the bonnet, 2-speed, full burnout. Like, the wheels were just absolutely insane. Huge credit once again to Full Throttle Empire, who brought the car out. And yeah, I'll leave a link for them down below. They are cool guys. They do some giveaways, and this was one of their promotional cars, which was just downright mental. And I can remember driving this thing through Sydney, and legitimately parked cars' car alarms were going off when I was idling by them. Idling! Like, this thing had such a savage idle, like it would do 60 k's an hour with no gas at all. So this thing was so menacing. Like, again, the noise out of it, it was just raw. It was so crazy. And I filmed it with my mate Clay Wong. So if you don't know who he is, I'll leave a link for him down below as well. He does car reviews in Australia as well. And he is a cool bloke. So yeah, VK, 1,000 wheel horsepower, just insane.
What the heck? Oh my god, your mic came off!
I know, what's going on? Yo, this is a beast, man.
Now we are into the top 3, and this was a difficult one. I really had to think about this list. And coming in at number 3, I think you guys will agree, this is none other than the Barra Zuu. The Barra Zuu had to make an appearance because you just can't get more Aussie than Barra swapping a truck. Like, the bloke who owned this, he uses them for a business, so you know, he rents them out for people to legitimately move house. And the Isuzu blew up. He didn't want to pay like 9 grand for a new motor. So what did he do? He went to the wreckers, got himself a cheap Falcon, and put a Barra in this thing. He legitimately Barra swapped his Isuzu truck. And this was the craziest thing I've ever seen. Like, legitimately, it was so cool. The owner was so, like, he was just such a legend, nice guy, happy to answer any questions. Like, it was a 4-speed BTR running it. It was thirsty, but it still ran. Like, it was smooth. It had all the torque as Barras do, and we did do a 0 to 100 as well. So if you want to have a laugh, again, go check that video out. It was just so Australian, so cool, and yeah, I haven't seen anything else quite like that.
The old Barra Zuu, mate. 4 tons. She's got to pull a lot, but you know what I mean, man. It's that down low smoothness that you can feel in this, but yeah. If you really wanted that speed, you could whack a turbo on this thing still, but considering this is still a work truck at the end of the day, you know, it's doing well, this thing. It really is.
Maybe if we go drifting, we'll put a turbo on it.
Yeah, could you imagine?
Now coming in at number 2, the Silver Spot. I believe this was the most powerful F6 we've ever reviewed, and this was none other than Pisco. So this thing was pushing 1,240 rear wheel horsepower in the F6. And this was, even I believe from the owner's statement here, the last F6 to come off the production line. I'm very confident he said that. And the owner, again, was such a legend. You know, he had a terribly sad story where he had gone blind. He can't see anymore, he can't drive anymore, but he still enjoys his car. And he's not even done with modifying it. He was still going to add in a Haltech system, and you know, I just thought that was so inspirational, so cool that, you know, he could have such a low in his life, but still be able to have a tough Aussie car like this and take it out. You know, his family takes him out in it. They all enjoy it, and it was pretty inspirational. And this thing, no joke, was one of the best done Barras I've ever been in. I think in terms of just engine, it had to be the best. It just pulled so strongly, so easy to drive still, and again, you know, we're well over 1,200 horsepower in this thing. It is just too good, and he loved it when I was giving it the beans. So yeah, just a tough car, cool owner, and an awesome story.
You know
guys
what,
should watch.
It does, and when you hear that turbo spool up, and
it's good, eh?
yeah, I love it. I think you just left 2 black lines back there.
Holy shit, man.
This thing's
That
whammers.
is unbelievable. I have to say, Greg, this is without a doubt the best F6 I've been in.
That's a big call.
Without a doubt.
That's a big call.
I mean, at least that I've driven. Nah.
Whew. Yeah.
Yo, he's trying to keep up with us, but oh man.
Keep trying, mate.
Wow, it just, even just in third and rolling into it, you know, that's half stab.
Yeah, yeah.
Now in first place here, guys, the #1 tough Aussie car build we have featured here on Ross Reviews. This was, again, so difficult to choose because we just had so many amazing Aussie cars that come on this channel, and so many worthy ones as well. So to pinpoint them was really a challenge. But I thought about it for a while, and I really think this is a deserving car. It's a friend of mine, and we recently featured this. It's none other than the TurboVZ Club Sport. And I know what you're saying, you know, this thing's only making about 600 horsepower at the wheels. It's T400, you know, it's not crazy. It's not crazy, but there is just something different in this machine. Like this VZ Club Sport, it's got the custom interior. It's in the yellow. You know, it's got the wheels I love, the big turbo, the T400, and it's just the way it all links together, and you get this thing out on the track. We were fortunate enough to go on track with him, and it just pulls for days. It is so unreal, and I just can't even put words into how good this thing drove. And when I got to test it on the street, again, it was just like butter. Like the control you had, just the smoothness of the shifts, just how it boosts on, how the screamer pipe just, you know, just rat-tat-tat-tat-tat, just comes on and off with such a delicate pedal. It was really so engaging, more so than I thought. You know, I really thought I wanted him to keep the manual, but nah, he's made that car just so perfect. And VZ Club Sport is one of the toughest looking Aussie cars, in my personal opinion, ever made, period. Period. So when you strap a turbo, a T400, chuck it some boost, yeah, this is going high on the list. And for me personally, guys, this was one of the best ever.
Oh my God. Yo.
I wouldn't change it.
No, I wouldn't change anything, actually. The screamer makes it too. It just
Aggressive.
Oh, it's sick, man. I hope you guys enjoyed this list. Again, hope you guys had an epic Australia Day. I love you all, and come back for more. Subscribe, like, comment. You know what to do. We'll see you on that next video.